so it's Draw with the Grandparents today, and I'm back and we're going to be drawing an apple barrel today. It's a really beautiful picture. Thank you to everyone who sent in their Pokemon pictures yesterday. Mum and I loved looking through them, we had great fun. So let's get on to painting. So for our warm-up today, I just want to get some really straight lines because in our barrel, we're going to do some really straight lines, and if you want you can turn the page and go again, and we want to make sure that we're holding halfway up the pencil still so that we're getting really nice light lines. Then what I'm going to do is just try and draw some curves just like this, because on the apples we want them to have really nice curves, and a lot of them go like up and back around like that. So if you can practice doing, it's kind of like a W shape and round. And that is our warm-up, and we can get going with the picture. What we're going to start with is a line about halfway up the page. I'm just going to make it a really straight line, just like that. I'm then going to draw a line down here, and this is going to make up our barrel. So I've got these two lines, and I want them to come in slightly, but I want the angle to be not too, I don't want it going all the way across there. We want it pretty straight. And this side, I'm just going to do the same thing. And if you look at where I'm holding my pencil, I'm almost at the very end. And that is our basic barrel shape. And if you put that in, you can then move on to step 2. Start putting in our apple shapes, and I'm going to try put in 4 apple shapes. I'm going to put one at this end, and I'm just going to curve it down, and then here as well, and I'm just going to do that kind of W shape that we practiced in the warm-up. So we've got 2 curves just like that, curving to there, and then I'm going to do another one like that, and I'm going to come quite far up this time, just go down, and again doing that W shape. I'm actually going to curve it just like that. And then I'm going to do a semicircle, and I'm going to start it there and just going to bring it around. You can really take your time getting these apple shapes in. And looking really carefully at the guide sheet at where they all meet. And the final one that we're going to put in here is just curving around, coming almost to the edge of the barrel and then curving in. I'm just going to make these lines a bit prominent. There we go. And that is step 2. And if you pause it when we show you the guide sheets, then you can draw, and we'll move on to step 3. So I'm going to start on my barrel and practicing those straight lines that we did in the warm-up. I'm going to do one quite far down, going all the way across, and then just above it, I'm going to do another one. And then about halfway up the barrel, probably just over, I'm going to do another straight line. Don't worry if it isn't perfect. Mine isn't perfect there. And another one. We're going to go over these in paint, so don't worry about it at all. Then we're going to come on and do some stalks and leaves. And so I'm just going to go up like that, and then a leaf shape. Just like that. And we're going to do that on all of them. And actually what I'm going to do is curve this up a little bit. Similar way, and I'm going to rub that out in just a second. And a leaf there as well. This one, we're not going to put a leaf. What we're actually going to do is have these bits kind of cross over, just like that. And then we're going to draw on the final 4th apple, a little wavy line and a stalk coming out of this one too. Now, I'm going to go and paint these with watercolour pencils, and I'm going to use some different colours and show you some different techniques. And then we're gonna, I'm just gonna draw in that final stalk, and then you can colour it in with pens, crayons, anything you want. And let's go on to painting. So we're going to paint using watercolour pencils here, and I've just got all the colours that I'm going to use down the side. I'm going to start by outlining all the apples I'm going to do in red with the red watercolour pencil, so just like this. And then I'm going to very lightly colour them in, so not leaning too heavily. And I'm actually going to leave a little space on this one, which I want to leave as a highlight. And this one I'm just going to do all red. Just like that. Then I'm going to take my yellow and I'm actually just going to add a little bit of yellow onto that one. And then I'm going to turn my first colour to paint. So I'm going to go just the same way we coloured it in. I'm going to start with the outline, then move more into the middle. Just like this. And then the yellow just adds a little bit more colour to it. So start with the outline and then go into the middle of the apple. So once I have done that, I'm going to use my brown and I'm going to take all the way along here and down, and I'm making some really quite heavy lines, so I'm leaning really hard on my pencil. And then with these lines, I'm just going to do one stripe here and I'm going to do another stripe here and just colour it in really hard. And then I'm not going to colour in the background of the barrel, I'm just going to do a couple of lines going down like this. Again, these are really hard marks so that when I paint over it, the marks will still be there. So if I just go over the marks first, you can still see that they are still quite visible on the page. And I'm going to add a wee bit more water and just kind of soften them out a little bit. And then I'm going to paint the stripes. And then I'm going to move on and do the green apple, and I'm actually going to start by putting a little bit of red on and a little mark of red there, and then I'm going to outline it in darker green and put a little bit of dark green on it, and then colour it in mostly with the lighter green, just like this. And then I'm going to do the leaves in the same way, so outline with the dark colour, and then I'm going to colour it in with the much lighter green. Take my paintbrush. And when you do this, you might want to wait for the red apples and the barrels to dry, but I'm just going to do it all in one for you and try and be really careful with my paintbrush. And then the final thing to do, take your brown and we're going to do the stems. And you can turn these to paint if you want to. I think I'm just going to leave them like that. And that is our apple barrel. Hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. And remember to share it with all your family members, your grandparents or aunts and uncles. Let's get everyone painting today. And tomorrow, Mum is going to be back with a fun Friday drawing. And we are so unbelievably excited about this one. It is Beauty and the Beast, which is Mum and mine's favourite Disney film, and we're going to be painting Lumiere and Cogsworth, so make sure you join us tomorrow.